Come on in, ladies. Come on in. Just taking a moment to share this. All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the Woman Intentionally podcast. As you already know, or you may not know, I'm your host, Whitney Kilgore, and I'm super excited tonight to be kind of getting back in the groove of podcasting because your girl just been living life. Life has been lifing, and I ain't had time to do podcasts, but we are here tonight, and I'm so excited because I have some ladies that are going to join me in a conversation about navigating friendships amongst women. Now, I know some people may be like, I no new friends. I don't want any new friends. And some people may have the perspective that like, I need all the friends I can get. So tonight we're just going to talk about that. Some of the things that kind of prevent you from, you know, taking on new friendships and kind of just talk about how we navigate it because that's a part of life, right? So with that being said, I'm going to start bringing in my guests one by one. Here they go. Hey, ladies.
Hi, Whitney.
Okay, thank you. So all y'all can unmute right quick, and then you know what? We're gonna have to mute it there. Okay, it's not Catherine. Saveda. Okay, you mute yours. Elise, unmute yours. Hello, hello. It's Elise. with the throwback. So we just make sure that like when everybody's talking, yours is muted until it's time. Okay, so ladies, we're gonna jump right back in. As you know, we like to do this live just so we can get feedback. So let us know where you are tuning in from, and then once this is all over in a day or so, you should be able to catch this on Apple Podcasts and all those things. So let's just jump right into it. Saveda, can you just tell us and tell them who you are, if you got kids, where you're from, and all that good stuff?
My name is Saveda. I do have 3 children, ages 22, 31, and 32. Yeah. Originally from Texas, born and raised all my life. Up until about 2.5 years ago, I moved here to Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay, Elise.
Hey, my name is Elise. I am originally from Connecticut. I have 4 children and they range in age 11, 9, 7, and 18 months. All boys.
Oh, yeah, we was hoping for that girl. We were really hoping, and it
Yeah, that did not happen.
it just didn't happen. But you know what? All right. No, I'm not even gonna say it. I already know. So thank you, Elise. Catherine, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Catherine. I'm originally I was born in Virginia, but I was raised in Alabama, which we currently just moved back 2 years ago. I have 2 sons, Cameron and Carter. They're 6 and 2. And Lord knows I just got my hands in a lot of stuff. Just got my hands in a lot.
Yes, y'all. Catherine has a whole beauty supply store out here. She owns her own beauty supply store in Alabama.
Woo, 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 woo. Congratulations, Catherine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Rolling up on 2 years.
yeah,
Oh, wonderful.
and
Yep.
that's another thing I kind of want to we'll get into too in this podcast. How hard is it making friends, like doing what you're doing?
Huh?
So the first thing I want to get into, and Catherine, we'll start with you, is how open to new friends are you, or like what are your views on friendships amongst women? Like how open to them are you?
Well, like moving back to like, I guess it was new, but a familiar place. But I didn't know that many people here. I just had like a few family members here. So I really did have to like start from scratch with making friends. And so I think like overall, I used to be pretty closed off. Like growing up, I was really closed off. I could only handle like one friend at a time. That's just anybody, I'm just not accepting any more applications. But now, I'm like, okay, I just kind of like take my time in putting you in a friendship place. Like we can be
Yeah.
cool, but I can't give you that title unless you've been battle tested.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Saveda, what about you? What is your perspective on new friends? Are you no new friend and people, or are you like bring it on?
I would love to bring it on, but for whatever reason, I can't find good, wholesome female friends. My God, it's either they are severely messy, and I'm at an age where I left that alone in my 20s, or they don't have, I can't learn from them, meaning I am trying to become a wife, I've never been married before, so I would like to be around women who are married and has been married and faithful to their relationship. I'm faithful even as a single woman, but I'm just saying, I can learn a lot from Elise. I can learn a lot from Whitney, because y'all have been married for a long time. How do you come up to the point of when you get mad at your husband? How do you go to the next room and cool off? I'm ready to get a divorce if that type of thing. So I want new friends. I just cannot find those type of women. It's like it's just so much negativity and jealousy these days. So it's just ridiculous. So I don't know, but if y'all have friends that are on the same level as you ladies are, tell them Saveda is adopting.
Yeah, those are some really good points, man. Like some of the stuff is just like, no, I don't have time for it. I agree. I want to be in a friendship where I can learn something from you. Like we don't necessarily have to agree on everything, but there should be something I can learn from you, or you can learn from me. It's got to be like mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
So I'm with that. Elise, what about you?
I have the same friend since high school, so I kind of stay in my lane. I'm not for everybody, but I'm okay with that because I am for who I am for. So I'm very selective about my friendships, and because we've been married 13 years, so I know what I like and I know what I'm going to stand for. So like I had single friends, but they want to do single friend things that I cannot do. So I got to the point where what are we doing collectively, because I can't hang with you. Like I just can't hang. So I want to be around young married people or like-minded people that we can grow together, because at this point it's trying to build businesses. It's like empires. Like I need you to be striving for something, and that's what I'm looking for in a friendship. So I'm selective about who I am friends with.
Yeah, I think that's good though. I think like we have to be able to determine if this is gonna be good or bad for me. Like we can't just go around letting everybody in there, So I agree with that 100%. What are your thoughts? Either one of you can take this on first, but what are your thoughts? So even with that, right? Being selective. I was talking to teen girls at school today about like judging a book by its cover. Like I've seen and they were like, oh, people shouldn't judge you. It's not about what you wear. It's about who you are as a person. I'm like, now y'all know, y'all done seen somebody in a little thotty outfit and y'all like, oh, you know what? And they were like, you right, Miss Whitney. So even in adulthood, like sometimes it can get like that. What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about, pressing past maybe what somebody looks like in order to get to know them, and it ends up being something a little bit better? Or y'all just like, I ain't taking no chances? What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of like that because I'm a hit or miss. It's either my whole life is either you like me or you don't. There is no middle. So because people judge that based on like where I came from, I'm from Connecticut. So they're like, there's no Black people in Connecticut. There's a ton of us. But they automatically think like, oh, you're snobby. You think you're stuck up. You're too good for things, which I'm not. I am like the 11. I'll give my shirt off my back. I'll ride or die for you. But I don't judge people off of first impressions, because you never know what that person got going on that day when you first meet someone. But I will give you like a shame on you, shame on me. And then that third time those red flags start flying, then that's who you are. Then it's just time to separate, because at this point, I don't have to be your friend. So same thing in like in military life. In real life, would I really be your friend? If the answers are no, I know I can keep my distance. We can be associates, but I don't have to like be kikiing with you up the corner or up the street or anything.
Oh my gosh, that's so good, right?
I like her.
Yeah, man, that's so good. And I think so many times, like people, like, I don't know, like maybe growing up or whatever, like you feel obligated. Sometimes you have to literally get out of that, or feeling obligated to be someone's friend. Like we can be associates and we don't have to be best friends. I don't have to tell you all my business. One thing I am doing when I'm getting to know somebody, and I was like a real overshare in the beginning. Like oh, you seem the first time you being cool, you gonna know everything about me. You gonna know all my business, right? But I had to learn some boundaries, how to set some boundaries, like what I share with people, and based on like what they share with me. Are they telling me everybody's business? You know what I'm saying? So they probably gonna tell my business. So I feel you on that. Like some people, you may just be an associate. I don't hate you. We may just not be cool. We just may not be friend type of pals, I guess is what you're trying to say. So I agree with that. What's up with you, Catherine? What are your thoughts?
So okay, so I guess it's a little weird because I'm going through like a friendship phase now, so it's a little bit weird for me right now, but I don't know. I think where I am right now is making me be hesitant because it's like how Savita was saying, like she wanted to be around more married people. Well, I've been married 13 years and I have a problem being around single friends. Like, just like what Elise was saying. So, it's just, I guess like where the stage where I am, I guess I am a little bit more selective just because I've been burned a lot in friendships. And so, I mean, even with family, just relationships, period. And me and my husband been married for almost 13 years now. So it's like you got to be, a little bit more tight and selective about who you let in your space. And then especially, it's about like not necessarily judging a book by its cover, but I don't know. Like I'm very like visual. So I watch like mannerisms, like, I'm very alert and aware of if somebody's being shady or if that's like fun. I don't do that fun shade because I feel like in fun shade, there's some truth in there. So it's always like, it's via friendships. I'm telling you, I'm fine being by myself, my husband, my kids, my mama. I'm fine. But I do have a couple friends, Whitney, and I don't know, y'all. It's tough. These women these days ain't right.
Yeah, I got you. I get what you mean. You do have to be selective, and if we're not, then we open ourselves up to everything. I think for me, when it comes to like trying not to judge a book for its cover, I think Elise kind of hit on it too. Like you will try and get to know somebody. Both of y'all did. Try and get to know them first. Like I don't know how you was doing on that first day. Like you might have just been going through the struggle. But I will, like I really have tried my best to do that. Like, even because I feel like even a woman that looks a little slutastic, right? Even that, I'm like, maybe there's now. I ain't saying you're gonna be by my man.
That's what I was about to say. See, you can't.
Yeah, no. So we're not gonna do that, but I will at least get because you never know. Like some people have never been around women who have values or standards, and maybe there's some kind of way I could share some light or share some of my, what I'm saying, and we could I could influence maybe her in that way because that's maybe what she needs or like is kind of looking for. So I try to keep an open mind when it's like that. But like when you was talking, I was thinking about that saying, like if you walk like a duck and you quack like a duck, like it might be a duck. So that too. So I feel you on that. So Veda, what about you? Are you open to like? Are you immediately like judging off the cover, or are you kind of willing to give people a chance, and get to know them first?
It just depends. I try not to judge by the cover because I'm very strict on that because with me being a curvaceous woman and single, I get judged a lot because typically women that's curvy like me, big button hips, you see it. Can we cuss on your show? Small cuss? Well, I just say this. They typically curvaceous women, we see them on social media. They're with the booty shorts on and all that. That's not me. I can't help the way God, developed me. But at the end of the day, I have to go back to Whitney. She got a chance to get to know my heart, who I am as a woman to the point I watch her baby. I've only watched it once, but it's the fact that one time meant the world to me because she trusts me with the love of her life, her heart. You know what I'm saying? So she got a chance to get to know me outside of the church. For me, when it comes to judging people, I've been treated more welcoming into someone's life. I've been loved more by people who are not in the church, who are not Christians, who dress in the booty shorts, men who don't have it all together. I've been treated more respectfully by those type of people than I have Christian folks in the church. So that's why I do not try to judge somebody because of what they have on. I try to judge them by their heart. And the only way I know anything about their heart if I get a chance to get to know them. For as single women, I get Catherine 100%. I get you 100%, but this is the caveat to that part. As a single woman, the way I love the man that I'm going to marry eventually, the way I love period as a woman, the characteristics are similar to married women. Like the single women I know, they my age, they still doing their thing, which is their business, but it's just not for me. So I had to separate myself from those type of women. If I'm going to grow and to become a wife, I can't learn how to be a wife from a single woman. So that's why I like to meet like-minded married women. As Ulysses, she go to our church. I love her to death. She's younger than me and so wise. Whitney the same way. I don't know you yet, but for 13 years, you're doing something right. So y'all the type of women that I like to surround myself with, not because I want your man, because I don't want nobody man. I want mine. And when I get mine, I cut you if you try me. I asked you, was this a Christian show?
Girl, I was over here like, don't cut them, Savannah. Don't cut them. Okay, that's all right.
Anyway, I just give people a chance, though.
Yeah, and I love that, man. I think you hit on something like very important too. A lot of people, like you said, like they feel that kind of judgment from the church, and it can be kind of scarring. And I think like us as Christians, we have to be mindful of how we are loving people or treating people, because even though people don't recognize, like, okay, the church got just as many hurting and, jacked up people in it as, the world does, they are still expecting more from us when they come in, and so like, say you did come in, you were a single woman, and like you said, you want to be around married women, and for us to get to know you, like you can, like, y'all can tell if somebody is like suspect, like, okay, nah, they hugging them a little too tight, they do, you know what I'm saying, like, hold up, you know what I mean, like side hugs only, sis, side hugs only, you know what I'm saying, like if I don't, you know what I'm saying, if I have to try,
we don't even need no hug, we need what's that dab, you know how to guys in the
elbow.
yeah, man. And I think we just have to be, we especially as Christians, we have to be mindful of that, because we're sending out these messages of like, okay, I only like you if you look a certain way. I only like you if you do this. You know what I'm saying? I can like you and not have you in a space where you have access to my man or my, you know what I'm saying? Things that I don't want you, I don't really trust you with yet. And that's just reality, right? And so, I agree, Savannah, that, like, hey, you gotta check it out first. You gotta kind of get to know people for who they are. And like the same thing I was telling the girls today. Yeah, I don't judge a book by its cover. I judge them by their heart. Sometimes we do judge by a cover. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't, like, I think it's so fake to say that, because we have to, like, no, not fake, but I think it's something we should be mindful of, because sometimes people don't know any better. But sometimes perception is what they're getting. They ain't taking the time to get to know your heart. If you look like they're going to be like, oh my goodness, like, I'm not going to talk to you. So it's just like one of the things where I feel like we have to be mindful too on our part, like how we're presenting ourselves, how we showing up.
But you know what, Whitney, I had back in, what was that? Probably like 29 years old. I think I was back then. I had a pair of Daisy Dukes, and on the back of it had 100% ass on the back of it. And I guarantee you, I had the same heart that I have today. I didn't want nobody else's man. I love my body back then. I'm 45 now, so
yeah. And you know what? And me, like, right? That's so real, right? You loved your body. You had 100%. You know what on the back of them. And if I saw you, I 100% don't want you around my man. I mean, like, if you got the butt cheeks hanging out,
Understandable.
like, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
sis, you can't expect me to be like, you know what I'm saying, to like bring you in that close. Like, I really can't get beyond your butt cheeks at this point. You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, as your friend, if I was your friend back when I was 29 years old, as a respect of our friendship, when I come around you and your husband, I change my attire.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's respect, right? So like, yeah, maybe you as a single woman, you out there and got the butt cheeks out and you doing your thing, but then when you're around your single friend, like I'm to the point where if I'm staying the night at somebody's house and they married, I'm not gonna have on my normal little booty shorts that I sleep in with my man. You know what I'm saying? Like the cheeks ain't hanging out because
right.
I don't even want to bring that into your environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel you, and I think that's some really good points to bring up, y'all. That's good. Let's talk about toxic friendships, okay? Like what is, like, y'all can just throw in, what is a sign of a toxic friendship? Whoever wants to jump in first can go ahead. Like, what are some characteristics of a toxic friendship?
Envy. Like, you got to go.
Always dumping. I call them the dumpers. They call you to dump, and then they hang up the phone and don't give you a response, and then they leave you with what they just dumped on you for the rest of the day, and don't check on you for no other reasons but to dump something.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting like annoyed just listening to that because it's so true. Like, who dumping? And I didn't even recognize how much of an impact that has on you when you just somebody's always just negative and negative and negative,
Yeah, because they just call you like, girl, this is what happened to me today. And then they go, da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, but I got to go. And you hang up and you're like, but what am I supposed to do with this? How do I process this? Because I didn't ask for this. But you feel better. Girl, I feel so much better we talk. What?
Yeah. Also, those friends that don't take accountability, they call you or talk to you about all the stuff that happened to them. And then when you give them the feedback, they're like, wait a minute, no, this is what I recognize that you did wrong. So you need to take accountability for this. So
yeah, that's so good. Not taking accountability. I really don't want to be in friendships with people who can't keep it real with me. Like, I really don't want to be in a friendship if you can't. Like, man, I don't know. I can't really function like that. It's hard for me to know, like, you walking into a fire and to be like, girl, go ahead. It's not really fire, but go ahead and walk into it and die. Like, no, I can't do that. So, like,
men. Or yes, women.
Yeah, women. I don't want that, man. I need you to keep it real with me and tell me when I'm wrong, because that's the only way I'm gonna grow. If you allow me to keep being trashy and keep, you know what I'm saying, like, even in marriage, right? Like some you have, I'm sure all of us have at least one friend that we can kind of talk to. We kind of learned who that person is or whatever. Mine is on here right now.
How can you make a change in your life for the better if you can't accept the accountability that comes? How can you friend, husband, boyfriends, whatever, how can you make a change for the better of yourself or for your significant other if you can't hold yourself accountable for your wrongdoing?
Yeah,
it's true, y'all. And I think sometimes we can be so used, and toxic relationships can be so normalized based on how we were brought up that we don't even realize that we're in toxic friendships. I'm talking about like toxic family relationships. We've seen toxic relationships and friendships in our parents. Like, you over grandma's house, but you hear grandma and them talking about everybody, the same people that was just there, and now everybody business, and then next thing you know, you got to fake it and put on a smile and you're not supposed to say nothing. Like, all those kind of things, seeing those people navigate friendships, that impacts us too. And then I think as we grow and we're in friendships and if we don't recognize it, we'll be subjecting ourselves to that same toxicity. And I think it keeps going unless we figure out a way to do something different.
And that's kind of where I was with my friendships, like, too. Like, I would allow a lot of stuff to slide, and if you let too much slide, eventually when you guys argue, you're going to be arguing about every single thing that's going to happen. They're like, wait, hold up. But it's because you've held it in. But also, if you don't feel comfortable, like what I've experienced with friendships in the communication aspect is like they don't accept what you have to say. Like even if you're saying like, okay, it's like you guys were saying, no, sis, you're wrong, accountability. It's like now all of a sudden you're the enemy because you're not agreeing with their foolishness. Mm-hmm. But like you guys said, like, how are you supposed to get better if everyone around you is always telling you that you're right, when you're wrong, And so then also it's like if you get that one friend that everyone around them always tells them that they're amazing. And then when I come in with my mouth and I'm like, well, I don't think you did the right thing in that, now I'm the enemy. Now you got, targets, focus on you. Like, and I'm like, dang, I'm trying to help the girl. Like you didn't handle that the right way. You could have handled that differently. So that's why I said I'm in a weird, it's funny that this podcast happened now because I'm in a weird space. Just kind of not becoming like a loner, but just distancing, myself from just a lot. If I don't, and especially with the store and everything, it's like, when you reach a certain level in your life or when people see that you're going somewhere before you even see that you're going to get there, they'll start to be envious and things like that. And then it's like, well, dang, why are you all of a sudden changing towards me? It's because they see potential in you that you don't even see in yourself yet. So it's like, now they're projecting all that, their insecurity, I feel like I got to be doing more. She doing more than me. It's like, girl, we could all be great. You won't have to take turns to be great. We can all be great at the same time and support each other at the same time. So that's kind of where I am with friendships now. It's like, especially after the love and marriage thing, it's been like targets, I feel, like people going live talking about me. Like, it's just been crazy. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
But whenever you're trying to get a business off the ground, your biggest haters are your friends.
Yeah.
And I say that, it's sometimes. Sure. But I say that because your stuff is amazing when you can give it to them for free and they accept it and they praise it and all that. But the minute you start saying that they have to pay for it, then they don't support you.
Well, I ain't never did nothing free, honey. It's been paid from the beginning. You're gonna pay now, you're gonna pay then. That's just it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also that it sometimes it's hard when you're elevating and they're not. So then that's when you get into that uncomfortable space that we are not in the same place anymore. So is it worth to hold you on because you're holding me back? Or do I need to let it go because you already showed yourself? So if you can fix yourself to go on Facebook and talk about me on live, then obviously I see where we stand. So there's no reason for us to go anywhere else with our relationship because at this point, you're not about to stop my money. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, but I'm not going to allow you to bring me down because that's what they want. They want you to be like, oh, well, why are you on here? Because they want to see like, this is what I'm talking about. Look, she retaliated because she saw what I did, but it is not stopping your check and it's not stopping your business because at this point, it is what it is. Get that money and continue to do what you're doing because obviously it's working. Right. But some people are seasonal. So that was one thing too. It was like when you're trying to elevate and do better, some people don't like you to do better. So they will find anything that you did in your past that is no longer you. If they've known you from so-and-so, she used to do this, but that's not me. And where I'm at right now, I need to be met where I'm at, not where I was. So,
Ooh. Yeah. Girl, let me just drop my little mic over here. Okay. I need to be met where I am, not where I was. Baby, if you, I did like a little reel, like maybe a couple weeks ago. If you haven't been around me in the past 5 years, like you don't know me. I'm a whole new person. Like I'm just a whole new person. Like, I mean, if we go back to old Whitney, like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like things were rough and there's no shame in that. But at the same time, as we elevate, like if you're going to be my friend, you either going to try to elevate with me. And that's how I think, and I want you to elevate with me. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm better than you. No, sis, how can we do this together? Like, okay, this is what I'm doing, girl. This is what's working for me. Hey, let me share what I know with you. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you do that and you still don't get the support in return, or you don't get the same energy and you still feel that envy, it's time to like distance. And that don't mean I hate you. Like I had some friends when I was like first getting saved, it was like they wanted to do parties and had people over there cheating on their spouses. And I know this dude Mary and he over here. I can't hang with you. I can't come to the party, sis. Like we on two different things now. And like years later, that friend came back and was like, "Wit, I know what you mean now. Like I'm so sorry. I didn't understand." It's just like, yes, sis, I never hate you. I still love you, but it's just like we not here anymore. And so in order for me to grow, I kind of gotta move on. I gotta move forward, you know, and like try to find friends or a circle that's on somewhat of the same thing I'm on, man. And that's sometimes that's hard. It's easier said than done because you really love people.
Well, we are fighting in society a battle of traditional love and traditional marriage and relationships against things like the poly lifestyle. Do you all you want? I'm not the one who judge. Your God is your God, my God is my God. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not pushing my God on nobody as well. And people that keep bringing up, well, so and so had these many wives in the Bible. Okay, that was back then. This is now.
Right.
Don't be afraid of change. Is the way I look at it. But I feel like people only bring out certain things in the Bible when it justify their actions, when you call them on their stuff. But for me, everything that we're talking about tonight, we are just four women who are battling society who has really changed and expect us to adapt. I'm not adapting to sharing. And if that requires me to be single for the rest of my life, then that's just what that is. I'm too much of a great woman, an individual to be sharing the person that I love with someone else. And if that requires me not to have one friend on this earth, then that's just what that is.
So
Then.
be it.
Absolutely, because we're right now in a society where it's normal for your husband to cheat or like your
Yeah.
spouse to cheat. So you got, what is your number? What is your number that you walk away from? Is it one person or two people? But it's like, but my man doesn't. So
Yeah.
he never has.
Right.
No, he hasn't. We have conversation. That's where communication comes in. Because if you ever get to a point where you feel like you need to do something, that means I'm lacking somewhere or you're lacking something. So that's a conversation before you just step out and ruin something. Now, mind you, we do have 4 kids. So I told them all the time, I'll eat you up in child support. But
Kinda.
all the time. But I digress because we love each other, but we're able to communicate. We have open communicate. Hey, I'm not happy. I may not be happy either. So how do we fix this? Because we want to be together. If we have normalized cheating and being okay with cheating, with like, I'm okay with the side chick. I see you on the weekends, all this poly. I want to be for everybody. I'm with everybody. So it's like battling like the traditional norms is like, we're like the minority. Like we're not what is normal anymore.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know about you guys, but I am more upset with this cheating stuff with the women than I am the men. Because if women say no and understand what their worth is, who they gonna cheat with? Learn do you not know how many men that I can be in the grocery store, got a ring on their finger and everything, and they ask me for my number. 9 times out of 10, I ignore them, and then they call me a stuck-up whatever, and I'm okay with that. Or either I'll be like, ain't you married? You got a whole ring on your finger, but we separated. Well, you need to go get you a divorce. I don't do separated men. You know, that type of stuff. But for me, I know how to say no because I know my worth. My worth means I need my own man. I want my own man. I pray for my own man. I deserve my own man. I don't want nobody else's man. So I feel like if more women said no to men who cheat, then they wouldn't have a choice but to be faithful to their one woman.
So in talking about friendships, do you feel like that's one reason that a lot of women don't enter into friendships with other women? Like fear of like,
I know more female friends from Texas that they have cut their loss on female friends because they have screwed their husbands or their boyfriends. Like, I just don't get it.
And but I think that kind of goes a couple of different ways too, because like at the end of the day, if your man is doing it, is doing that, then that's a big responsibility on him. And it's like you'll miss out on, and this is my perspective. You'll miss out on so many quality, I think, on quality friendships because out of fear of that happening. And sometimes that fear is rightful, right? Because maybe things have happened in the past. You've seen things go down that route before with other people, or you have that thing. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like me when I'm making close friendship, like being friends with people who I feel like I can really bring in, and like you, my friend, and I'm there for you. I'm taking all that into consideration. Like I don't feel like I always tell my girls in school, like I don't hang with hoes. Like I just don't. If I know you're out here sleeping with cheating on your husband, I don't hang with those kind of women. Like I don't hang with them.
Right.
I mean, I'm not judging you. If I had the opportunity, if you ask me my perspective, you gonna get my opinion and my perspective. But I try not to attract those kind of women, and so I don't have I don't really have a fear. And guess what? Like at this point, my husband will be like, "Hey, I don't so and so."
Mine definitely would do that too. And I was thinking when she said that, I was like, as much women, you can blame the woman all day. I mean, of course, you can blame her all day because that's just convenient or whatever. That's the girl. You need to be thinking better about yourself. But if God forbid, because Lord knows it'll be a dark day for that man. But if you ever decided to do that, I'm not coming for her. I'm about to eat you up.
Right.
Okay, because see, we've been going through this for 13 years, 2 kids. We've been through military and all of it, So at that point, if it's something that I'm lacking, then come and tell me.
Right.
So that I can fix it. And I'll just randomly ask him, like, babe, do you think, is there anything you want me to change? And he was like, no, I think you're, fine. So I open it up for him to be able to say that. But I would never unfriend or not be friends with somebody because I feel like, oh, she's my husband's type or whatever, because I don't even know what his type is because all I can see him is drooling over me.
Okay.
So I don't even know. I would never get away from somebody because of that. But like Whitney said, I don't befriend hoes. So if I see that you got thought tendencies, you're not even gonna make it past the application process. That's just what it is.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't fault the woman.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't fault the woman. It is definitely the man's responsibility. Yeah. But what I meant by that part is that I feel like we as women have to say no. We have to be the other part of that responsibility, saying, no, I would not be that type of woman that would sleep with somebody else's man, especially if they're married. That is not fair to her as a woman, and it's not fair to myself as a woman. So it never will I ever charge a woman up at all. It's definitely his responsibility because it's his relationship. But I think if more women would, say no to cheating,
But at the same time, y'all, let's just be real about culture and society and everything that you see on TV and entertainment. I honestly do not listen to today's music and stuff like that. But every now and then, to stay relevant, I will go and look at the lyrics to a song when I hear one that's real popular. And almost every rapper all women and a lot of women and a lot of young girls are glorifying and raising up Christians alike. A lot of them are talking about take him for his money, be a hoe, sex him down, take him from his woman. Like that is what they are programming young girls to think. And so while we have these traditional values of like, I'm not going to sleep with a married man, you got like little 21-year-old so-and-so like, oh, he committed and he got a wife, he must be loyal. Let me go on and get him. You got girls thinking like that because they hearing this stuff on music. And like, that stuff is programming them and helping them figure out like, oh, you old, I could take your man. And it's a thing to go and take somebody's husband and a mindset. So, it's like us as women that have these kind of values and morals and stuff like that. If we don't speak up, if we don't do things like this, if we don't get involved and talk to girls and other women about valuing themselves like that, Saveda, how can we expect the culture to change where it's not a take your man? Y'all know me gotta say the N word. Take your man and go head on and ruin your marriage and family and all that kind of
But this is the thing. You speak of music, and even though I'm a Christian, I don't get me wrong, I still listen to my rap music. Kevin Gates is one of my favorite artists. So I hate to say that.
I ain't even gonna lie, because I actually like the Stallion now, because I'm up here working on my knees myself. Anytime I hear a song, I'm like, now wait, you know.
Yeah,
And I have to say, I've never listened to any music that made me want to go out there to do with drugs or see with somebody else's man. It makes me want to dance. Like even with Megan Stallion music, it makes me want to strengthen my knees, but not just.
I went to my
and that's powerful. Like you strengthening your knees at 40-something years old. It's like that's powerful. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like wow.
But I can tell you what I have, like my career background has been working with, young people, mental health, you name it. Mm-hmm. But what I do see is people, he's dead and gone, and I would have spoke on him if he was still alive, but Kevin Samuel. Men like him that speak against women, period, whether you black or white, when you tell a woman, you're not good anymore past 35, especially if you haven't married. That's the kind of stuff that make women of our age, because you guys are past 35 as well, or any age, just want to just cringe. Like,
I'm just 32. We're not breaking down.
No,
but it makes you
have an underclub.
It makes you cringe when you hear people like Kevin Samuel speak like that, and then you have, especially black men, like just so proud of him speaking like that against black women. That is so ludicrous. So when you have what they call now as a trophy wife, which is basically she's Megan Stallion just all the way down, and which Megan is beautiful. But what I'm saying is you'll go over and get your little 28-year-old, you 50 years old, you have money, and the girl is 28 years old, and next thing you know, when Peter can't get up no more, she done took you for all your money. Now you want to bounce back to your age group, and now we don't want you.
Or you done took your little pill and done had a heart attack because you ain't supposed to be taking it.
Exactly.
Everybody's trying to secure that bag. That's what everybody's trying to do right now.
Exactly.
Trying to work for it. And everybody
so when you have a Sabeda, and I'm going to only say me because I'm the only one on the panel that's single. So when you have someone like me that has standards, that would rather for you to go on by your business before I allow you to sleep with another woman, or before I allow you to mistreat me, I'm going to allow you to go on out there and get you a Megan Stallion, because I'm not going to drop my standards just to keep your, we now almost cuss, girl, to keep your butt. I'm not going to do it.
Y'all going to be real hot with me right now, because I have listened to some of Kevin Samuel stuff, and man, I'm not even sad to say, I agree with some of the stuff that he was saying.
Girl, please tell me what you agree with.
I agree with the fact that women, like the fact that this whole strong, powerful, like I want to do everything, and then at 35, that's when I want to figure out if I want to settle down. Now, if you have been going and that was your objective, and it just didn't happen for you by a certain time, then okay. But today, like it is a lot of women who just want to put themselves put all of that on the back burner, kids, a man, and all that, and go after the job and degree. And now you got $200,000 in debt. You got some kids, and now you want this man to come in, and you want him to make 100, 6 figures, 7 figures. When he be saying a lot of time, the average man makes what, 45, 50 grand a year? Like that's the median. So like people are expecting so unrealistic. Like, but I don't think that people want to hear that. Like he says, women want to be told you can have the world, girl. But in reality, like, can you though? Like, I mean, some of his
together to get it.
But it's capitalism though as well though in relationship.
Say it again.
It's capitalism in relationship. It's like everybody says more is better. You have to do this and do that and do that. But I feel it's capitalism and entitlement. People feel entitled to things because I have this, and because I look this way, I should have this. Like right now, there's like a certain type of woman that everybody's with, and at times I get confused about who is who. But this has become the standard woman that everybody wants to be with. She mixed, she looked like something, she got a whole bunch of stuff with her, she got long hair, and she got a big old booty.
Yeah.
But that's not the average person. So when you're trying to find men who actually are worth something, they're like, I want that standard that I see on TV.
Yeah.
I want to be like the Nick Cannon. I got 8 baby mamas that are okay with being baby mama number 9 and going back and having another kid with them. And even
But
like
not only that, Yulisa, to add to you what she's saying, I don't need, and really typically don't even want $100,000 a year man. You got to do too much for them. You know, give me an average Joe making 60, 70,000 a year, maybe even 50, and make sure he's loyal, he's faithful, he's honest. I take him any day over $100,000 a year. Give me a dude with a big old pop belly, and I will cook so many cakes and keep him
I rub that belly.
I rub that belly. I will rub his back before I will rub a 6-pack any day. I don't need no high value man, even though
money
I
can
think
go.
high value.
Yeah, money is not
something I've never had in my entire life. That's from childhood all the way up to now, and that is loyalty, respect. You name it. That I need the free stuff because I already have it here for you.
And
you can't buy.
And that goes back to you, Saveda, being that person of morals and values. But like if you and like they did that man so bad, y'all. I know we getting off. Forgive us.
I'm not care about Kevin. I don't. I didn't like him.
No. But a lot of people do. But a lot of the women that he was talking about were saying that they want a man with 6 figures. Like he wasn't the women that came on there and said, "Okay, I'm cool with my man making 40,000 or you know what I'm saying." But he's loyal, he's good, and that kind of thing. Like, oh no, he's not good enough. I don't want no man with that because. You know, it wasn't attractive because that's not what is being portrayed out there. So, I mean, I get
it's too much work for them $100,000 a year men. They get on my nerves. Look, and I'm in school. I have 1 more year of nursing school to go. So you better believe when I become my RN, guess what Saveda gonna be doing? Finding her let me rephrase that. Praying for her a man under $100,000 who got a pop belly and who loves me for me.
You better grab one of them doctors off that doggone floor.
Yeah. Look, now I will say if I'm going with the doctor, I will be okay with that.
Yeah, and look, y'all, D said it's slim pickings on women nowadays because of that actual train of thought, right? Because they got to be 100,000, 200,000. Our pockets have to be overflowing for women who want to show us. I mean, for women who want to show all on social media. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
for
show.
Yeah,
it's like 90 Day Fiance. They have a new episode out, and there's a guy who took the girl from Trinidad to his family's house. And she had a whole fit. Like you had Louis Vuitton luggage when you came to visit me, but this is where you live. And then she had her mom on FaceTime showing her the holes in the wall. So then he brought her to his real house, which is like it looked like a little mini mansion in Kansas City. And he has a Mercedes, and she's like, "Oh, now this is what I'm talking about. This is where I need to be." But he was like, "You couldn't take me for where I was. Like this is my childhood home." And he like picked up in a dirty car just to see. But she was like, I don't know. You put on the front. You had nice suits. And then the mom was like, well, maybe he rented the suits and he ain't got no money. But it's just like it's a standard. I want to be taken care of. I want to be catered. I feel I'm entitled to this. So a good man is a good man. A man that treats you well, money can go. You saw COVID, the great resignations going on right now where nobody want to work. We have hiring events twice a month. Nobody want to come back to work. But money can go.
My HVAC man, you best believe. Okay, I love me some HVAC man right there. Okay, everybody, I don't care COVID or not, y'all gonna need y'all heat and y'all air working. And guess what? Mr. Kilgore.
But you know what Yulisa was saying? It's funny that men complain so much about women being anywhere from gold diggers to whatever. But if you are a trophy, what they consider snatched in the waist and so on, your Kim Kardashian type shapes, they don't mind paying for that. But if you come through,
they have to pay for that because there's
no. What I'm saying is this right here. They don't mind. You would never hear them say she a gold digger. You'll never hear her say she want me for my money. But if you come through with average suit, that has a belly, that skin ain't that tight, she got a few wrinkles. Oh, she using me for my money. I'm confused.
Or how do they get together? Because it's that same type of woman with that body. That's not realistic. And what sucks is because that's what girls are striving to be, especially the girls that you see. Like, I gotta look like the Megan Thee Stallions or the Nicki Minaj. I gotta get the waist trainers and basically pass out at school because I'm trying to make my stomach smaller, so I got an hourglass shape. But that's not realistic. Because once you have that first kid, if you bounce back, that's cool. But all those celebrities aren't bouncing back because they got good genes. So you got to make it make sense. But that, again, it's the culture. Us as a society have lost it. And it's like we are so fixated on doing this versus saying, like, just be yourself. But that's not what we want to do. We want the Birkin bag. We want the Louis bag. We got to have the Mercedes. But we want the man to do it for us. And then we get on Basketball Wives or be a peach and show our tails to get money. But we do it to stay relevant. So these are like the role models that people are growing up to because we're social media heavy. Everybody want to be a TikTok influencer. So what do you got to do? You got to make jokes with your husband. You got to prank your husband and do stuff like that. But what are you building in relationships by doing stuff like that? Nobody wants to see average people being great. They want to see something messy. You got to be messy somewhere. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to follow you. But it's just like, but that's not helping this next generation because I'm seeing them in the workforce and they're just like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do this. I know my word. I'm just waiting for somebody's husband because they're going to hear me. So.
And it's so true. And listen, another thing I want to point out too, I don't know how we got on this, y'all, but we in here. Okay. I think Savannah took us here, but we're going to ride this wave. One of the things I will say, you know how we were saying like, men, they want the hourglass and stuff like that. One of the things, and if somebody is listening to this, one of the things I've learned over time, like you got to think about where that man's mindset is. For him, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, do you really want to be with the guy that only wants you if you got a BBL, that only wants you if you got big boobs? Like, do you really, like, what is his character like if that is the only thing that attracts him to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not attracted to your mind, who you are as a person, but you gotta have an hourglass shape. And that goes back to society again, at least society showing men like what to look for, and everybody praising these hourglasses. And I mean, it's all the women that we were talking about, praising them and making them millionaires and showing like that is it, that's where it's at. And then we're upset that like everybody wants that and not the woman with the fupa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the fupa is real. Like, fupa is here and it's staying. Like, unless, you know what I mean, the decision is made. And so I think we have to consider that as well. Like, you know, ladies, if that is something you looking for, like, do you really want him if that's what he's thinking about? And that means the pool is even narrower, you know, because a lot of
I will say I have a natural hip and butt, but what I don't want, and I also have a fupa. It ain't huge, but I have one. But what I don't want is a man who, every time you turn around, talking about exercising or trying to make me lose weight because he's a certain type of woman that he wants. Love me for me. That's my fupa. That's my whatever. If you want me to work out to be healthy, then that's a whole different ball game. But I don't want to hear the words every now and then that you're gaining weight or, you know, you don't need to be eating that or something like that, whatever the case may be. Because I guarantee you, if God make a way to shrink your penis, you'll have a whole different ball game.
So I'm glad you mentioned that because my husband's actually a personal trainer because he was in the military. So he's a personal trainer. So the one thing, like, he's fit to the bones. I mean, like, I'm like, do you even have anybody fat? Isn't it in there? You know, but me, I've been up to 250. And when I tell you he love and squish all on my little rolls and everything, he has never made me feel like, you know, you need to lose weight. He's always said, you know, oh, baby, so beautiful. But then when I look at my picture, I'm like, dang, I was big. Boy, why you ain't saying that? He said, well, you look beautiful to me. I didn't see no weight, you know. I mean, it's just, but the killer, and the problem that I really think now is like I think that it's a good bit of social media and what people are putting out there as like the ideal woman or what she's supposed to look like or what they want. But I also think that men get pressure from other men about what their woman looks like. So, it's like, if they see that they're like, my husband Charles, if his friend Bob, if he has a woman that's big bone, and then if I'm big bone, then everything's all right because I look like her and she look like me and everybody fine. But it's like if the man goes and he sees that, if a single man goes and he sees that, my homeboy got it going on. He got a big house. He got a wife over there that's in shape. She done had kids. Then I feel like he starts comparing his woman to what the other man, woman, a girlfriend, a wife, or whoever may look like. And then that's where that comes in. Like, I think you need to lose weight. I think you need to do this. Because, I done been big, especially if the woman was the same size as she was when you met.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, it's a problem that I got to roll. Now, all of a sudden, it's a problem that, then like you said, if it's coming from like a you get healthy angle, then I can respect that. But if all of a sudden the company that you keep has changed, friendship has changed. Now you got a new friend. You see our bro over here rolling with his woman. Don't come thinking that I'm about to just go be busting it up in the gym every day. Put my popsicles down that night. No, you got these fluffs. You're going to keep the fluffs. But I have lost weight because I saw myself that I needed to lose weight. But ain't a man going to tell me, you need to lose weight because of this, that, and the third. Because I feel uncomfortable.
Amen. Say it, girl.
I got you. I like that. Ladies, we just went off stuff. Like, I feel like this may be a conversation that we need to have. So we are coming up on an hour. And so before we close this thing out, I want to close it with my final question of the night. Bringing it back to friendships. And the last question that I want to ask is just for people listening, right? What is a boundary that you have set in a friendship? So like, as we close this thing out, like what's your no-go, your non-negotiable that you have when it comes to friendships? And let's see what your answers are.
I'm actually not quite sure of my boundary because I haven't had anybody to cross it. I've just had people do things that I didn't like. Their character or my character, just personalities just don't mix, But I haven't had like anybody like cross a boundary. So I'm not quite, and maybe I need to make some boundaries. Maybe that's a part of the problem too. Maybe I need to get to developing some. But it's just kind of like, okay, if you got a flaw and I'm your friend, if I know that's your flaw, and when we started being friends, then I need to just not necessarily accept it if it's something that's toxic and hurting me. But if I know that that's just how you are, then I'm just going to let you be you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure if I know like what would be considered like a boundary. I mean, of course, my man is definitely a boundary. Now, if I see anything over there, you could slap off like at the throat. But I'm not sure of like what is a friendship boundary.
Yes. Did anybody else have one? Saveda,
as of now, I think just don't borrow money from me because I don't need.
Okay, so that's the boundary. Okay,
yeah. That's I don't even let family borrow money from me. So just restore something light, and as we continue to speak on the months to come, Whitney, maybe I can come up with some more boundaries. But right now, just something simple would be don't borrow money from me. Don't ask me to borrow money.
See, I don't mind the money borrowing because I had friends that were in this, but this is like friends I've been friends with for years. If they needed something, I would give it to them because I have the intent where I'm not going to borrow to expect to come back. But if it does come back, I know where to find you. A boundary for me would be neediness, like a one-sidedness. Like you're only calling because you need something. You're only calling because you want to do something that involves you. It is never like I'm checking on you to see if you're good, or like the people that I have to call you all the time. That is my boundary. Like if I have to call you in like a year and it's only me calling, then I'm done because at that point I'm not a priority in your life and I don't expect to talk to you every day, but it should be some sense of urgency. Like, hey, I haven't talked to Elise in a little bit. Let me check on her. So if you're not doing that, that's a boundary for me. Like, okay, I'm not going to keep calling this person seem as if I'm needy. So we're good.
Now that's I'm glad she said that because I actually just backed off of a friendship because of that. But I didn't know that was a boundary. I thought that was just like more like a characteristic. You just want people just to cater to you all the time. I didn't know that was a boundary though. Okay, so I guess I do have a few. Because if I have to call you all the time, then no. Because I ain't calling nobody that much but Jesus. Not even, I ain't even calling my husband that much,
But Whitney calls me and texts me more than I do her, but she know I still love her.
And I think that's just the military in me, because I know like we move around, but that doesn't like, I be hoping that people understand like life just be life, and like I just ain't gonna think about you all the time, and and I feel like we always end up picking right back up,
Yeah, but you pick back up. But but you're not picking back up. Like that's for me. Like if I'm calling you, like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Oh, okay. What you been up to? Just stuff. Like there's no like sense of urgency. That to me is like I don't got time.
But you know what? Whitney didn't know how much I cared for her at all. And I gave her a whole baby shower. We weren't even as close as we are now. So it's for me, it's just who I love naturally. Mm-hmm. Like I even love Ulysses, and I don't ever call her at all. But when we at church, I just be like, I love her, So we've never hung out or anything, but I just love her as an individual person.
Yeah.
I feel like once you get to at least
I'm like so sheltered. I go working home.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you take a little bit to get to, but I feel like it's like you kind of understand that. Like you have to understand your friends, or you have to understand the people in your life. Like when you did start like opening up to me a little bit, I didn't expect us to be texting all the time or talking all the time. It was just kind of like, okay, we gave me a hug today.
I know I'm not a hugger though. Like I hate. I know. I have so many boundaries. I got a lot of stuff with me. But I know that. That's why I say I'm not for everybody.
Yeah.
But like when I do, I care. But like I care. But like I will not chase you down. And I don't expect anybody to chase me down either. Mm-hmm. But like it doesn't mean that if you didn't need something, I won't show up for you. But I expect that in return. I need that same energy. I need you to match my energy. If we're not matching energy, then that it's like a red flag for me, because I've been burned, like Catherine. I've been burned enough to know if it's gonna go left or go right. And if I start seeing flags, I'll shut it down in a heartbeat before I get hurt again, because I thought it was going to be like a good friendship and you're just using me because you want something, or you're using me because you need something, but you don't generally care about me. You just like what I got going on. So,
but Ulysses don't talk a whole lot like in church. So I got to like her through her children. I seen what type of woman that she was through her children. And I love everything about her when it comes to her children. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got a chance to get to know her.
Now I know you babysit.
Look, you got 4 boys.
Yeah. So my boundary is, and this is a boundary that I'm just like trying to work on, because I see how powerful it is. When I notice that too much of you starts to like impact my energy or like my mood and all of that, when I realize that too much of your negativity is starting to rub off on me and change the way I show up and the way I think and behave and feel, like that's when I have to take a step back. And it's sometimes like, and that's why I say I'm trying to implement this one now, because it's hard, especially with people you talk to really often and y'all real cool, and you start to realize, man, things have shifted, and you kind of have to back. So that's one of the things that I'm doing now, just being more mindful of like how the friendship is impacting me emotionally and spiritually, because like that whole, how can we two walk together unless they agree thing? Like now I think it's one thing to like, we can walk together like this, but like this, it's going to be hard to walk with somebody like this that you don't agree with, So I feel like, we can keep it over here and we can walk and maybe disagree. But if I got you in here and you start to affect my emotions and all that kind of stuff, then I'm trying to start pulling back and like giving that person less access to me. And that's like my little new boundary.
Now, see, I'm kind of funny with that one, because like some people, like we all go through bad periods, right? And you know how they say, check on your strong friends, stuff like that. So I'm the strong friend. So I'll hold it. Lord knows World War III would have been happening in my life before I actually talked to somebody about it. So it's like, if I have somebody that's like coming to me and they're actively telling me like, okay, I'm in my tough season right now. Like this is what's going on. I'm gonna ride it out. And even if it's a few months of you calling me being draining. We gonna get through it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna expect you to be doing some type of work to get yourself out of that. So, but I'm a rider now. I will ride hard.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on, if you got whatever going on, marriage, what relationship, kids, whatever's going on, because Lord knows I've called Whitney many a times, and it's just been like, I don't call until it's like, okay, I'm at my wit's end, and I need somebody that I can trust, that I know got the power of prayer that can get me to that place of me being okay. So I have to just kind of remember for myself, I have to kind of remember that to just make sure that I'm not just allowing people to stay in that moment, stay in that negative space, but to like give them challenges. Every time you come with negative space or negative something going on, okay, sis, you've vented. How are we getting ready to go and get through this process? Because you can't stay here. We have to keep moving forward. Now, if they don't do those steps, then it's like, okay, I got to pull back because I can't have your energy affecting mine. Yeah. But I'm a ride with you as long as I see that you're on the train trying to get on the right track.
Yeah, trying is important, man.
Yeah,
it's no way to like go through life without no problems. You know what I'm saying? Like we all gonna be in that valley of the shadow of death at some point. And it's like, yes, but to like stay there since you live in the valley of the shadow of death, like, I mean,
ain't no happy moments going on.
We gotta try to come up out of that. And so, like, when you see, like, I'm with you 100%. I'm gonna do this last comment, y'all. I know we pushing it. We at 106. I think the social media stigma is even starting to change the minds of our young men because all they want is the women showing all the Megans and Nikkis, etc. So, how would you all change the narrative on our young sons? Answer, Jaleisha, ladies.
Oh, and all these got boys. Oh, Lord.
I got it.
Go ahead, Elise.
So I have a middle schooler, and we made it a purpose to make sure that they see how we love. So we show them what love looks like. Love is not what you see on TV because that's not real. And not saying that it's not like real, but I tell them like they took 1,000 pictures to post that one picture. Mm-hmm. I want you to see the struggle. I want you to see me and your father have a communications. I want to see how we compromise. I want you to see, because we don't fight, but I want you to see how do you get to a place where we are one band, one sound, because that's what we need to be. And so if you can find someone that can, because we're complete opposites. If you can find someone that can match your energy and be there for you, regardless of what you look like, then that's what love looks like. And that's the love I want. I don't care what she looked like. I don't care. I do care what she looked like. I hope she got some hair, but let me stop. I don't care what she looked like. I don't care. I do care about her family background, but I want them to be happy. I don't want you to do for looks, because somebody could end up in a fire and have third-degree burns for the rest of their life, and you marry them because they look a certain type of way. I don't want you married for money, because money can go. You can be rich one day and lose all your money. So I want you to marry for personality, and that's someone that matches your energy.
About her.
Exactly. That's right. We mirror what I want them to see, because it starts at home. It starts where this is the relationship. Because my parents been together since they were 13. So I see them go, like they literally grew up together. So like I saw what I expect my relationship to be. And I bought some of that characteristics into mine, not all, but some of them, especially when it comes to how we communicate. Because we don't have to fight. We don't got to cuss each other out. I'm not going to talk crazy to you because you are the person I love. So I'm going to talk to you with respect, because I respect you to respect me too. And we're going to come to a middle. And I want our kids to see that too.
Yeah. I have sons too, but my kids are grown, but I would just say that love her from the inside out. Because that body is not going to always be there, but that mind and that heart will always be there. My son is remarkable. Oh my God. I wish he could have met Whitney or Elise, because that would definitely be the type of daughter-in-law I would love to have. I don't have a daughter-in-law now, but I'm just saying, if I wish to pick one, it would be you.
Expectations.
Yeah. So I try to stay out of his love life, but for the guys, I would say the physical appearance is not always on point with the heart. So definitely get to know the parents, get to know the woman. I do believe in change. So, just because she came from something rough doesn't mean that's who she is. But, definitely look at the family background. Look at the way the father has, raised her, the way he treats the mother. Look at that type of stuff. Um, don't go with what your friends are doing. Do what you feel that is right from your heart. Don't go with what society is saying, because if you go with society, men wise, you're probably going to end up in a disaster. It's crazy out there for young men.
It's true. And society, my thing is parent your child, like parent your children. If society is parenting your children, they're gonna want what the thugs and the little Uzis and the little people want. They're gonna want that. So you gotta talk to them. And like when Tyrese's telling me he like a girl, what do you like about her? Like he was liking Lucy, but Lucy was helping everybody with their homework in class. Lucy was, at Christmas she's always volunteering to bring people stuff that didn't. He was thinking about characteristics, like what do you like? And this was like 4th grade, so like kind of get him in the mind, like not just because she's cute, but what is her character like? So I think if we don't help instill some of those values in them, they're gonna want what they gonna want the Meg. Like,
but not only that, Whitney, don't men, fathers, stop trying to push your sons on vagina at 14 years old. Yeah, it's okay for him to still be a virgin at 14. It's okay for him to be a virgin at 20 years old. I mean, that's so many men are doing that because they think their son is going to be gay. Stop that. They will become their own person, but don't be pushing them on another female just because you're afraid that they might be gay. You stay in their lives in a positive way and raise them the correct way. But it's okay for young men to wait until marriage. It's okay. My daughter is 22 years old. She just got her first boyfriend 2 years ago. I pray she's still a virgin. But she was a virgin I believe she still is. I don't think she's lying to me. But the way I raised her was to save herself. And if he loves you enough, he will wait. Yeah. I said, you can have a good time with your boyfriend without having to be sexual. And what this young man told me, he said, I respect Adriana and I respect you, Miss Moore. He said, I don't mind waiting. So it's okay to wait as young men. That doesn't mean that you're gay. That means you respect the woman that you love and yourself. You respect yourself as well.
Slow cooked dinner tastes way better than microwave.
Yes, honey. Because if I knew what I knew now, I'd still be a virgin.
Simmer. But so the girl that you guys were saying that y'all didn't want y'all daughter to be with, that was probably me, because my upbringing was horrible. I had very, very bad anger issues growing up because of how I grew up and how I was raised and how I was treated growing up. So the fact that my husband was like, dang, she a little crazy, but I see her heart. He saw the good qualities and he saw kind of like beyond my cray. And so we got married at 19 and 22. So we did kind of almost grow up together, so he's allowed me to become this, and not because becoming, excuse me, Michelle Obama. Yes, we always becoming. So he's allowing me to keep becoming this woman that's going to be an example for our children. They're my motivation to get better, because I still had that knucking and bucking spirit, but I'm trying to channel that and say, okay, I don't want my sons to be with nobody who I don't even like who I used to be. So I don't want my kids to be with someone like that, nor my grandchildren be coming out with somebody like that, knucking and bucking. But know how to knuck and buck. Don't let anybody just run all over you. I ain't saying that, but don't just be ready to knuck and buck because your fries came out cold. Just
that part.
Know when to be angry. So I think for me and my kids, I'm just trying my best every single day to just not. And I had, like I said, the person that went live, I didn't say anything. That's not who I used to be. That's not how I used to be. So I'm proud of myself. I'm like, okay, I'm showing my kids that yes, mommy is flawed, but mommy is trying, and mommy knows that I'm not perfect, but mommy's trying. And I apologize. Get you a woman that acknowledges her shortcomings and apologizes and try to make it right. You know, as long as she's showing you that she's on the right track, you know, action, be about that action. You know, just show me that you want to be a good person, and I could probably roll with you. That's
I love it.
And one more thing, Whitney, to make sure the young men understand that it's okay to cry if you need to cry. It's okay to say I'm sorry if you did something wrong to someone. Just make sure that when you want forgiveness, that you make the steps to make that change and don't hurt yourself or someone else again like that. It's okay. We all make mistakes, but it's okay to break down sometimes, because you can't be strong all the time.
Somebody told me that to stop. Kim cry too much. I said my baby gonna cry as much as he needs to cry, because that's what's wrong with some of these men out here. Now they bottle all that stuff in because they don't know how to communicate. Cry, and mama gonna wipe them tears, and we gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not.
And crying does not mean that you are a punk. It does not mean that. That's why God made you that way. You shed tears just like we shed tears. That's what they're there for, to let go.
Clean out your eyes. Clean your eyes out. That's all it do. Yes.
Yeah, good, great advice. Thank you, TPSGL, for the question. Got us all riled up again, y'all. This podcast has been amazing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for sharing and just being open and honest and transparent. Savannah, I know you was holding back the cuss words, sis, and I appreciate
God's still working on me, girl.
I appreciate you, girl, because you was like, Whitney, I'm reeling it in, and I know you came through for me, so I appreciate you, girl. And so, listen, y'all, if you are want to hear more of episodes like this, where I'm going to be bringing in some of the ladies that I know to have conversations about things that we as women are going through, make sure that you follow us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on all the podcast platforms. Rate and subscribe to the podcast. Now, as you leave this episode, don't just go out there and live your life in the old mediocre way, ladies. I want you to woman intentionally. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.